Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Wednesday the 20th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning fairly early, got the dogs outside, trying to keep them quiet as I could. Ended up getting a mess my dog made cleaned up, and kind of is what it is, so got that taken care of, but got a couple of things done. Hung out the dogs out in the morning, just basically chilling out with them. Wife got up, got around, so I was able to make a little more noise and got them all fed and medicated and all the good fun that comes with it. So from there, got a few things to take care of in the morning. It was time to take her to work. I was going to go drop her off, and then she has a physical therapy appointment this evening, but she wanted to go to work in the morning. I thought she went in too early, but she thought she could handle it, so I was like, okay, whatever makes you happy. So of course I have to put her in the car because she can't get in and out of the truck. So went ahead and took her to work, and then my original goal was I was going to run out to the farmer's market and buy her some orchids, because I haven't, all the ones we have are done flowering, so I thought I'd go buy her some orchids. And then I got back, I'm like, well, I got enough time, because another dog was supposed to get dropped off, got pushed back, one got canceled, so I'm like, well, I actually got a gap right now of enough time. I think I can get all the way to Orlando to IKEA and get back to pick up my father-in-law's shelves. So, but I can't bring home 2 full sets of shelves in the car. Barely fit 1 set in there. Definitely can't bring home 2. So ran away back to the house, dropped the car off, grabbed the truck, grabbed myself a couple cigars, and headed over to Orlando. And dogs were hanging out at the house. They were fine. It was just the one there with my mother and then Bruce, of course. So they were chilling out, having a good time. And then nobody else was getting dropped off till later, so we were good to go there. So went ahead and said heck with it. Headed over, got to Orlando, pretty much uneventful. Got in and out of IKEA fairly quickly. It's not super quick, but got in there fairly quickly. And then there's a Nordstrom's rack right there by the IKEA store. I thought, well, I'll stop in there real quick and check it out. So I've never been in a Nordstrom rack yet. I've seen them around a lot, but never been in there. And just kind of wanted to see what it was. It's ironic, I actually own a handful of Nordstrom rack stocks, but I bought on the stock market because with the pandemic and stuff and that, it was one of those deals. I thought, well, I'll go ahead and get some of it. It was down quite a bit, so I made a little bit of money on it, but realized I'd never actually been in their store, so I thought I'd go check it out. And it's kind of like a Ross Dress for Less, but with nicer stuff. So it was kind of interesting, that whole process, but it kind of is what it is. So went ahead and from there, I basically headed on back home, and noticed as I was coming back, I'm like, there's a lot of courtesy vehicles out, like where when your car's broke down in the shop, you have, they give you a loaner, and they got the big stickers on the back with it saying provided by whatever. And there was 9 of them I saw on my trip over to IKEA and back. 9 of them, 6 of them were Audis and 3 of them were Lincolns. And I thought, that's great advertisement for the dealership. But then I thought, or is that really bad advertisement and the exact opposite of what you want to see? Because I only 6 I saw were Audis and 3 were Lincolns. Saw none for Chevy, Dodge, Toyota, whatever. But you're telling me your car's broke down enough that you had to give me a loaner, that your shit's not getting fixed all the time. Now, hopefully under warranty, no big deal. But I still don't want my car in the shop all the time. I don't want to drive a loaner constantly. And it just made me think, I'm like, I didn't see that many cars on the road, and to see 9, 6 Audis and 3 Lincolns made me feel a little bit like, I don't know if I want an Audi or a Lincoln right now. Like if I was going to buy a new car, which I'm in the market for my wife to buy a new car, and made me think I don't want one of those 2. So, and I don't know, it seemed like it was sitting on the wrong sign. It was like, you need to put on there like Ford, or you need to put on there like Chevy if you're the Audi dealership, and you put somebody else's name on it to make you think that that car is one that breaks down more than your car does, but who knows? So at least they're willing to give you a loaner. But if I'm over here on the coast and they're way over in Orlando, are they going to give me a loaner? And how much a pain in the butt is it to drag it back and forth for warranty repairs and stuff, and have to take a 3-hour round trip, just go drop my car off to get service work and all that dumb stuff that comes with it. So definitely not real happy about that whole thought, but kind of is what it is. So went ahead from there, got back to the house. I had to basically got enough time to let the dogs out, let it play with it for a little bit, chill out, and then time to go run to get my wife at work, take her to physical therapy. So went and grabbed her, took her to physical therapy, drove over to the little fishing dock by the the military veterans memorial park, and hang out there. And there was an older gentleman there who was crab fishing with like a big, basically it's like a flower pot, lack of a better term, like one of those little things, like a fruit bowl you set in your hang from your counter, your cabinet. He had some chicken bones and stuff in it. He was fishing for crab, And then he reeled in, he had 3 of them in there, so he was trying to pull them out. He was going to take it to his bucket. So he untied his net, or his little basket, and went to walk it to go basically take the thing and put him in the bucket. And he walked back over without thinking, just chucked his net into the water and didn't tie his rope back off. And he realized, it's like, oh shit, you see his eyes. So he went and untied his other net, his other basket, and he was trying to fish the line back in with it. He was having 0 luck, no luck at all with that whole thing. So saw another gentleman on the pier who was fishing. So we went and asked him, and the dude that was crab fishing didn't speak any English, or at least never spoke to us in English. So I felt a little bad for him. So I went and asked the guy, I'm like, hey man, not for nothing, but I see you have a hook on there with your shrimp. Would you be willing to go try and catch that guy's string? Because his rope is floating still. So the guy's like, oh yeah. So he went our stuff, and it took him about 3 casts. He finally hooked it, brought it in. The guy was thankful. We all 3 had a good laugh about it. Then I headed back out because I could see that guy with the net was not going to ask. And it was one of those deals that he might not have been able to really communicate it well enough, not be able to speak English, that he wouldn't be able to get his point across very well. But since I saw what he'd just done, I was able to communicate it really good to that guy. So he did tie them both off, threw them back in the water, and kept fishing for crab when I left. So, but I headed back, picked up my wife. We headed back home, and she was spent. It took a lot out of her. It really wore her down. So she laid down to take a nap, and she was at work too long. And then going to physical therapy afterwards was a really bad idea. So that was not fun. But got her back home, got her laid down, turned on the fan for noise and stuff. And then I went and got my run in. And then we basically had some other dogs getting dropped off in the evening after my run. Got back, hung out there, and then basically chilled out. Ended up having leftovers and the crab steak, and then, cabbage steak, and then the hamburger on top. Knocked that out, and it was better this time because it got steamed a little bit longer, so the cabbage got cooked better through. So watched an episode of Grace and Frankie, and then headed outside, enjoyed my cigar, and fairly beautiful evening. It's trying to rain off and on, so I rolled down my curtain to keep the rain off me. It's a little bit better. So yeah, hung out with the dog. Everything was good. Got settled in for the night and got the dogs all situated. Had myself a little snack and wrapped it up and called it a day. So that's all I got for right now. Oh, I did have another client reach out that wanted to know if I'd be willing to come walk her dogs again. I used to walk her dogs 4 days a week around noontime, and then basically I would go down here. She lives in a little RV south of me, so I would go down and let the dogs out, take them for a walk, bring it back when she was working her 12-hour shifts. So I told her what the cost was, that there was an increase in price, and she was fine with it. So we basically got that all set up, and starting the 25th, I got to go start walking her dogs. So kind of an interesting thing there, but kind of is what it is. So I hate the idea of having the 5-day-a-week thing tied in again, because I'm kind of stuck, forced to leave my house between like 11:30 and 1:30 is about how long it takes. By the time it's about not quite a half an hour. I always figure myself a minimum half an hour getting down there. It's probably 15 minutes, but then you figure at least half an hour for the walk, and then by the time I get the dogs in and out of the trailer and anything else and stuff, and that you figure it's like an hour, and then another half an hour back, which again is probably 15 minutes back. But I leave myself extra time, so like 11:30 to 1:30, I'm kind of out of the house, and it kind of isn't a big deal if other people are trying to drop dogs off, or dogs that aren't necessarily getting along the best. A lot of my dogs get along perfectly fine if I'm there to kind of keep an eye on, but some of them get a little too carried away with their play, and it gets a little bit rough. So, and then my wife with her leg, I can't really separate them and put them in like her office and stuff, because she's in there. I can't have them bumping into her either. So it will add a little work onto me, but it'll bring me in another little nice little chunk of money. So definitely worth doing. So it definitely is worth the time. It's just kind of a pain in the butt. So when you break it down, even the per hour rate, when you figure the drive time there and back, it still pays pretty damn good. So pays a lot better than most people around here are making. But it's just knowing the fact that 5 days a week I have to leave during this time frame, which she's pretty open with. It don't have to be exactly at noon. It can be 1 o'clock, whatever. So we can work around it, but it is what it is. So anyway, that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.